Hello, everyone, and let's engage in a little bit of intellectual anarchy where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. How's everyone doing today? Today I want to talk about truth. And I don't know if some of you may know, there's something called the postmodern era. And to sum it up, I mean, it goes way deeper, but in a nice, neat package is when the idea that truth is relative began to take hold outside of academic minds. Your truth may not be my truth, and my truth may not be your truth. And that most truths are relative. And we have let that bleed so much and let that idea, because of tolerance and inclusiveness, we have allowed truth to take a back seat to what we would now call major self-deception. And it all started with an idea. And it began to steamroll with an idea called political truth. No, political correctness. I'm sorry, political correctness. The idea that there are truths that are too hurtful to say. Need you to think on that. It started off that there's a truth that is too hurtful to say. And that turned into that truth could be considered hate speech. And that went another step to say that truth or hate speech is violent. So truth has been taking a beating, number one, that is not important. There's certain truths that are too hurtful to say, you should just keep them to themselves. Once we let truth not be the main value system, and we made it second, third on our list of importance, it began to take a beating. It began to be degraded, as opposed to it's our highest value. You can't have freedom without truth. You can't have equality without truth. You can't have liberty. I know that's another word for freedom, but liberty is more deeply rooted if you don't have truth. Truth should be the guiding principle in every human's heart. And truth has been downgraded to something that it shouldn't be said because it might hurt people's feelings. And now it's considered hateful to speak the truth based on other people's feelings. And then now it's called violence because of how people feel when they're hearing it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hear me. This new generation that we have right now, they're going to use sticks and stones because the words you say hurt them. That's the new philosophy. And we need to start standing on what is true. what is true is what is right. And we gotta start saying truths that are too hurtful for people to hear. We have to say it anyways. You are sabotaging people when you do not tell them the truth. And when you don't tell the truth, you are sabotaging truth. And it starts always with being truthful to yourself. Because if you can lie to yourself about something, you feel the less authority to tell the truth on something else that has nothing to do with you or is not directly connected to you. People are ruled by their emotions and they're not ruled by their logic, because we have said that truth is relative to each individual. There are some relative truth, like I like peanut butter jelly. I think peanut butter jelly is the best sandwich. I think that's true. Well, that's true for me. That may not be true for you. But there's certain truths that are absolute, undeniable. And we're taking these absolute truths and we're downgrading them to relative truths, like gender, right? We don't long let our biology determine our gender, but our feelings. We're saying truth has no absolutes, it's how you feel. Society cannot be built on these ideas. These people who are dealing with this can never build a society. They don't know how to, nor do they have the mental stability or the emotional stability to create and sustain a society. And right now, we're letting the insane people run the asylum. And there's madness out there. People's emotions must be subsidiary, must be less important than the truth. So it's taking grip of our society. It's taking our society's taking a major hit. And this kind of idea, which we all knew was eventually coming, and we put our heads in the sand and didn't push back on ideas. Now we're at the brink of society crumbling based upon people's feelings instead of facts. Now, I don't want to get into what those facts are and what those truths are. I think you have an idea what those are. Me being a conservative libertarian, we all know what truth we're fighting for. And we have to change the definition of things. And we're hearing about experts that say it's right. Back on biology, we're not letting biology determine what we are. I think right now we are confusing femininity and masculinity as being a woman and a man. There are certain men that are effeminate and certain men that are masculine. And then there's certain women that are masculine and certain women that are feminine. And what we're doing right now is when some boy shows any inclination towards femininity, we're automatically saying they're a girl. And we're gender affirming that. This is completely unwise. And the strange thing about this, that gender is fluid, and then once you feel something, it's no longer fluid. So if I'm a man and I feel like I'm a woman, I am gender fluid, and male and female genders are a social construct. And then suddenly, when I determine what I am, I'm supposed to buy back into the social construct. I mean, either the social contract is bad, and you should stay fluid. Once you say you're one thing and say you're another, and then get an operation to solidify that as true, you're no longer believing in gender fluidity. You are now taking on the societal construct that you're against. It's a lot of confusion because there's no truth in it. There's only confusion. The Bible says, when there's strife and confusion, there is every evil work. Bad things happen. Shit goes wrong. You're saying gender is a social construct? Well, so is the idea that gender is a social construct. That is definitely a social construct. Brand new one. And if social constructs are bad, then what grounds do you have? And if they're good, then I'm going to settle on the one that keeps society together, that keeps society working, as opposed to what is not working and has high rates of suicide and a lot of people regretting and taking children and doing social engineering off their bodies and mutilating them. This is the big problem because there's no truth in it. And when there's truth is no longer elevated, the lie is. Then it's no longer a lie. What may be a lie for you may not be a lie for me. Then we're in a dangerous place. We are in dangerous situations. Hey everybody, it's James Salazar with James Salazar Media here. If I can just have a moment of your time to talk about some of my shows and some free things I have for you. First of all, on my YouTube channel, I have the Brightburn YouTube Academy, where we talk about mindsets and belief systems of what it means to be an entrepreneur. We also have the Intellectual Anarchy show, where we talk about politics, philosophy, and religion. I think they're inseparable from having a keen mind and intellect. We also have the James Salazar Media podcast, where we talk about pop culture, politics, and futurism. Some free things I have for you. I have the Brightburn Society Facebook group. Here you gather with like-minded people on the same journey you're on meeting your goal, fulfilling your dreams, and what it means to be an entrepreneur. I also have a free handout, an ebook called How to Be Great at Everything You Do Blueprint. And also, if you want me to come speak at your event, or you need some life coaching, you can find both these links in the James Salazar /SLING address, or take a picture of my QR code, and we'll all link you to all this stuff. So thank you for your time and have a good day. So let me round up everything I'm saying today. There shouldn't be no truth that is too hurtful to say. We need right now to start exercising truth. Truth about yourself. Truth about society. You see, a lot of reasons why people allow truth to be degraded is because people are not truthful to themselves and they're not authentic. And they can't be real because they're afraid of what being real means. It means being rejected. But in the long run, if you are true to yourself, if you are authentic, it will go a long way on people respecting you and consider you someone that they want to know. Of course, there's going to be quite a few people who won't like who you are, but the ones who do will gather around you and support you. And we have to start with speaking the truth in our own lives, to ourselves, to everyone else, being authentic. This is how we start to establish truth in our society again. And then when we start getting to social and political issues, you have to start to speak the truth with love, but more with love, but with intelligence and being articulate and not resorting to name calling and not resorting to a hateful heart. But you have to give your argument. Meet people in the arena of idea. If truth is on your side, truly on your side, then you will win. The lie can never beat the truth. The light can never lose against the dark. It exposes. The truth exposes. And you can tell when you speak in the truth, people get upset. People get upset. And if you're not someone who's name calling or being racist, but you're speaking a truth about reality and they're upset, you're exposing the lie. You're putting light on the darkness. And it has to start with you first. It has to start. I say this in my Facebook group, the Brightburn Society Facebook group. This is for people who just want an extraordinary life and entrepreneurism. There's a value that I hold, and it goes like this. There's a lot I believe that I will never say, but you'll never hear me say something I don't believe. And I know that's true for myself because I think out what I believe, how I want to say it, how I want to present it. I'm not looking to manipulate it because it is truth. It's what I believe is truth, and what I believe, what in the motivation for what I believe is truth is that it is true. Not that I want it to be true. And if you have truth on your side and truth at your back, it will expose a lie. Be authentic. Don't be an asshole, but be authentic, be real, and defend truth. You shall know the truth, and it shall set you free. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Have a good one.